be second choice.
Well, no, the thing is it's not even a matter of first or second choice. It was just a matter of like you were available. She didn't get back to me, and it just turned out so well this way. That's what I love. I make plans. Like, if I'm going to go on vacation or something, which I haven't done in a few years, but if I do, I always found the best vacations I ever had were ones where I really didn't make a lot of plans. I just, kind of figured out where I was going to go, and then got there and figured it out once I got there. But anytime I've ever tried making vacation plans or some kind of a trip, and I try to, make an itinerary for myself, nothing ever happens the way I want it to. I always end up disappointed. But when I just kind of let it flow, just let it happen, it all just seems to be so much more enjoyable. That seems to be.
Oh yeah, especially when you go there to that place and you see what they have to offer. You haven't overplanned it. You just wing it.
Exactly.
Kind of how I do speeches. My speech, as far as my writing abilities, it goes to. It's hi, my name's Bill Looman, and that's the end of my speech writing, and the rest of it I wing.
Yeah, you're kind of like the Johnny Cash of crane guys, aren't you? My name is Johnny Cash. You know what I mean? You're hi, I'm Bill Looman. Really? Hey, you've got some kind of invitation that was going on. You were telling me about to be speaking somewhere. Herman Cain might actually show up. What was that all about?
Oh, May 19th. I got a Patriot friend, a lady named Kim Paris in Jefferson, Missouri. She's going to be putting on a huge family-orientated event on May 19th of this year. She is trying to bring in Herman Cain. She's trying to there's going to be a lot of conservative black preachers that are going to be there. Mr. Bryant, do you guys know of him?
William Bryant?
Yeah. Tentatively, they're trying to get him on board. They're just trying to get up the money to be able to afford him. Herman Cain is he's looking right now at the numbers, from my understanding. If there's a huge amount of people that show up, he'll be on board, and she's asked me to be a guest speaker. I'll be kind of an opening guy to one of the big name tickets.
Excellent.
Get out there and get people motivated, and see if I can't get them focused a little bit, so that the real names can go out there and just traumatize them in a good way.
Nicely put. Yeah. All right. So you've got some speaking engagements coming up, and what do you see for like the near future, Bill? Anything going on, like in your personal life kind of stuff?
Personal life, I just try to keep my company running, and but I do have a couple of invites. One at a GOP, a monthly GOP meeting to do a speaking engagement here locally. I want to send them an acceptance email here on Facebook, and I got my local Tea Party here. They asked me to come in, and I did a long-winded speaking engagement. I felt I was long-winded. The response I got from them was opposite. They enjoyed it. I got them interacting. I got them thinking. And the topic that night was the nomination process that we're going through.
Right.
Hopefully, there's a gentleman called Wild Bill for America. He and I are throwing ideas back and forth. I was on a show that he's
Yeah, you were telling me about him. Would you mind explaining to everybody who this Wild Bill guy is? You're Wild Bill version 2.0, right?
Yeah, he kind of dubbed me that after he saw a YouTube video where I recently got a liberal friend to give me a call that was kind of vulgar.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he dubbed me the second Wild Bill, and I tuned it up to I'm Wild Bill 2.0. But Wild Bill for America is a former law enforcement officer. He's a former U.S. Marshal. He's retired, I think.
Is he in Florida?
He lives in Florida right now, but I think he did most of his service for this nation as an LEO out west somewhere.
Okay.
But if you go on YouTube and you hit the search box and you look up Wild Bill and you start typing it in, you'll come up with a lot of drop screen things, and it'll eventually tune up Wild Bill for America. And you go to that, he's got a huge amount of videos out there.
Yeah,
a lot of it
yeah, they're excellent.
Yeah,
he's very
sarcastic.
Yeah, he's funny. He's outspoken. He's funny, and he's genuine. You can tell.
Yeah, he is, and he's thinking about putting on a nationwide tour. We're trying, and I'm just trying to get in there and meet the guy. To be honest with you, I'm a big fan. But if I can polish my speaking skills a little bit, and he feels comfortable with it, he said he would love to have me on as guest speaker at some of the events.
Now hold on a second. Now just hold the phone here. I don't think Bill needs to polish anything. I could be wrong, but what do you think, Steve? I think he's speaking just fine.
Sorry, I had my mic muted as I was sitting there listening. He sounds to me like he can talk just fine, and particularly about those things that he's passionate about.
Exactly. He's articulated everything he's had to say tonight without having to polish. I want to go on record saying right now, I don't think you need to get any polishing done whatsoever. And if you're a diamond in the rough, I say you stay that way. All right, there, I said it. Yeah.
Well, I had one of the original 12 Tea Party founders, one of the original 12. She actually did an interview with Eric Bolling, and she told me the same thing. Keep it from the heart, keep it sincere, keep your message focused, and you're doing good. And,
exactly. Yeah. I remember all these, the naysayers, the media, going on about George Bush, how he didn't have the gravitas. Remember that? That was the big expression back in 2000. Does
That's
he really
correct.
Gravitas? The gravitas this, the gravitas that. You don't hear him saying that anymore because it was just one of those things that they made up and they flew it like a balloon and then it popped eventually and they don't use it anymore. Gravitas this. I'm telling you, he was like one of the most genuine guys, laid back. I loved hearing him. Did you guys happen to catch his interview when he was on Facebook? He did an interview with, he was promoting his book with Mark Zuckerberg. Did you guys catch that by any chance?
I didn't see it.
It was great. He's just a good old boy. I mean, he's just laid back and relaxed. And, he's not uptight. He's not trying to impress anybody with how smart he is or any of that kind of stuff. He's just a genuine guy. And I'm saying that because, Bill, that's exactly what you are. That's exactly how you come across to be. And that's exactly the kind of people I like having on Loving, Caring, and Sharing. Regular people. Not these career politicians, as it were, these guys that got nothing better to do than be pompous and try and talk down to other people. I get that sense from you, Bill, that you're just, well, heck, you're a good old boy. There, I said it. Yeah. And
I have a little bit of education. Give me a break. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can be a good old boy and still be educated. That doesn't mean that you're uneducated. It just
look at Steve. He's a good old boy, and he ain't educated at all. All right, that's not true. That's not entirely true. Of course it's true. Well, I want to remind everybody you are listening to Mark Mercer's Loving, Caring, and Sharing, and if you do want to call in, the phone numbers that we have here are in the United States, area code 206-456-0742. That's area code 206-456-0742. And if you're in the UK, you can call in by dialing 0203-603-6256. I'll say that again. It's 0203-603-6256. Now, somebody did text me and say, how do you do this on Skype, Daniel? I always forget. Can you bring everybody up to speed if they want to use Skype to actually join in on the program?
Yeah, sure. They need to add free conference call HD.1600 to their contact list. Then they just make a regular call, and then they type in the code 359310. For you in America, it's the pound sign. For us in the UK and Europe, it's the hash sign.
Right. We don't want to make those, confuse people. There's a difference between hash and pound. Although I'd like to buy a pound of hash potatoes so I can have some good breakfast tomorrow, but that's besides the point. Anyway, all right, so you can do that. You can also email us here if you want to reach me. My email is mark@northstar-radio.co.uk. If you want to get a hold of Daniel and complain about Mark Mercer's Loving, Caring, and Sharing, or just say hello, you type studio at northstar-radio.co.uk. And if you want to get a hold of Steve, our good old boy from Arkansas, you just type in Steve at northstar-radio.co.uk. And let's see, we're into an hour and a half. Now, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, Bill? It'd go by like nothing. I don't know about you, but it seems like we've been only getting going for 15 minutes. I don't feel like we've even scratched the surface yet.
I ain't even breathing hard, sir.
Now, there was a fella you were telling me about earlier, Tim somebody, a buddy of yours named Tim, and some things.
Oh, yeah. Well, all Marines are brothers, and he is a brother. He lives up in the Northeast. That Marine, he got out as a sergeant, and I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. I haven't ever actually met him, but his name is Tim Harrington, and he's on my Facebook page for those of y'all that want to tag him. If you want to dig into my friend list and you're friends of mine, you can find him. And I actually wanted to invite him to the show tonight because he is one of the people that are spearheading the ballot issue with Obama. And
okay.
He's in the background and he's coordinating. And I wanted to invite him onto the show so he could better explain it because, like I said before, I'm just a cheerleader. But he's got some family. I think it's actually a close friend of his. He wasn't able to make the show tonight. A close friend of his named J.D., whose wife is in the hospital, and she's undergoing a triple bypass surgery even as we speak.
Yow.
And but he's extremely excited about this show and wants to get on at a later date, if at all possible.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. You know what? Speaking about getting on the show, we have calling in right now a very good friend of Love and Care and Sharing, and that's Connie Tedford. Now, Connie was on the show last Friday night. Connie heads up Greater Southwest St. Bernard Rescue, and she was very gracious with us last week and gave us some of her time. Actually, a lot of her time. We talked her to death for 4 hours. It just couldn't stop.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a 2-hour interview, and it lasted for 4 hours.
I know.
And again, it seemed like we were only on the air for an hour. It was riveting.
I'm telling you, when you get talking with people that are passionate about what they're doing, about what they believe in, time goes by like it's just unbelievable. Connie, are you there? Can you hear me?
I am. Welcome.
Oh, well, thank you, and I'm glad to have you. How are you doing today, love?
I'm good. I just only caught kind of the tail end of this, so forgive me if I'm remiss in being on my toes. I was out with the dogs, but I kind of want to get this Marine's opinion of my wonderful governor here, God bless her, and the fact that she stands up to this. Oh, I forgot we can't cuss on the air. This person we have in office.
Oh yeah, the commander-in-chief.
Yeah. Governor Brewer kind of had a dust-up with President Obama just this week.
Well, she always does. She always does. He refuses to come here and acknowledge the fact that we have got a huge problem in this state.
Which problem is that, Connie?
Illegal immigration and all of the drug runnings by the cartel. I mean, they are just running over us. I mean, I had to build a fortress out here to try and keep myself and the dogs safe.
Right.
But I need to get some retired Marine or some Marine that's just coming back from Afghanistan that needs a place to stay to come and be my sergeant at arms here.
Your own personal bodyguard.
Yeah. But I mean, this whole, SB 1070 has been such a huge radical upshaking, and with Obama coming and bringing on all these lawsuits and such, I mean, the state of Arizona's had it, and then he comes and he has to make a visit here this week to see all the people at Intel. I thought, if you're so worried about the state of Arizona, why don't you come when we have our officers being shot by the drug cartel, but you have innocent ranchers losing their life because they happen to go out to their water tanks and find a bunch of illegals there crossing the desert with packs of drugs on their back. It's absolutely frightening what goes on, and it completely breaks my heart that, it's like Arizona is not even part of the United States anymore. We're on our own.
So Bill, you've been listening to this. What is your take on what's going on in Arizona, and particularly the events that surround the drug running and the immigration, and even the dust up between the President and Governor Brewer this last week? What's your take on that?
Well, my take with the incident that occurred on the tarmac or the ramp, or where he was coming off the aircraft, where he arrogantly focused on her and her book. It's
Scorpions
just
for breakfast.
Scorpions for breakfast. Where in a small portion of it, she made a description of how she perceived their meeting going in the Oval Office. He didn't appreciate that. It shows me that he's very self-serving. He's arrogant. And people have said this before. I perceive him as being narcissistic, and that's what leads me to believe that he's actually ignoring, or not only your state, but Texas and all the border states, even a little bit California. Even though it's a liberal state, he is actually part or his appointees, let's say, are actually making it harder for you